So I'm reading right now in Luke chapter 7. And Jesus is talking about John the Baptist. And he says, "Why did you go out to the desert? You left the city of the great king. You left the temple. You left the place where all power is to go out into the middle of nowhere. What were you going to look at? Were you going to look at a weak man that's blown around by every new viral video, every new trend, every new thing that comes down the pike? Is that what you went out to see? Someone who's just blowing back and forth with whatever comes up. Did you go out to the desert to see a guy in an Armani suit with his hair combed just perfect, maybe in priest's robes with a nice cleric collar on? The guys in Armani suits are in the boardrooms. The guys with the robes are in the cathedrals. Those guys are standing on the stage at megachurches. They're in the halls of the government. That's not what you went out to see. You went out to see some hairy loudmouth who stood for the truth, who stood up to the powerful, who called people to repentance and didn't just give these pithy little sayings to motivate you to get through another week. You went out to the desert to be challenged. Is John a wild man? Was John a truth teller? Was John a prophet? Yeah, he absolutely was those things. In fact, he was the greatest prophet that the world has ever seen. And this is where it gets crazy. At least it does to me. He said he was the greatest prophet in the history of Israel. Greater than Moses, greater than Elijah and Elisha. These great prophets of old. He was the greatest of all of them. Right? That's what he said. It's interesting. If he was the greatest, the next thing Jesus says really puts our reality into focus. He says, the least in the kingdom of heaven is greater than John the Baptist. Now think about that. You're part of the kingdom of heaven. If you're living according to God's rule, if you are bringing God's rulership onto earth, then you're even greater than John the Baptist. You're greater than Moses. You're greater than Elijah. That's who you were called to be. You were called to be great, powerful, strong, not being blown in the winds of trends and styles and the new thing. You are strong and powerful. You speak the truth. We are called to prepare the world for God's rulership. Not in the future, right now. If you're going to be that, if you're going to live into your calling, you got to be sold out. You got to be all in. You got to be a little bit crazy. Having our faith prepare the way of Jesus for our families, in our finances, and even in our own fitness. John was out in the desert eating bugs and able to live in the wildest environment. See, we're called to prepare the way of Christ. That our faith is supposed to affect all the areas of our life. That's who we're called to be. Now that might seem a little bit much, but John took a stand. John told the truth. And you can too. And I can too. We need to tell ourselves that story. We are put on this earth to prepare the way for Jesus into the presence, to be lights shining in darkness. You got to be all in, sold out, and just a little bit crazy. I'm the Rev, and I'm a little bit crazy, maybe a lot crazy, and I'm all in. love you.